Welcome to the podcast. This is the Jerry Ratcliffe Show. I'm Chris Graham. I'm not the important guy. Jerry Ratcliffe's that guy. Jerry, hope things are going well for you.
Things are going great, Chris, and hopefully same for you. And
yes, indeed.
Everything's going well, and we're looking forward to the summer a little bit, winding down a little bit, not too much. Sports never stops, but never sleeps, and rarely do we either during the season. So maybe we'll catch up on our sleep a little bit. But before we get started, I'd like to thank our podcast sponsors, Aberdeen Barn, best steaks in Virginia, and UVA Orthopedics, who not only take care of Virginia athletes, but also our great community. So if you have any kind of a problem, you need to see an orthopedic surgeon, go see UVA Orthopedics. They've just opened up a brand new facility out on Ivy Road. It's one of the best on the East Coast, state of the art, unbelievable facility. And we'll be taking a tour of that sometime this month, and a video tour as well to let you see what's available to you out there on Ivy Road. But without further ado, let's introduce our special guest for today. He's no stranger to our show. He's been on a few times and always welcome. And we love the guy already. Love his smile. Love his humbleness, which has made him popular everywhere, and will be in the Virginia fan base as soon as he hits town, which will only be in a little bit over a week from now. Let's welcome Isaac McKneely from Poca High School, state champion, West Virginia. Welcome to the show, Isaac.
Appreciate it. Thanks. I always enjoy talking to you guys and being on the podcast. So thanks for having me.
We love having you. And we had your coach, Alan Osborne, on a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And he was a big hit with our audience as well. And he told us he's coming to see you practice sometime this summer, and he made us promise to take him to the Aberdeen Barn. So I guess we'll be doing that.
Yeah, he's been bugging me for the practice schedule, so he can get down there whenever he can.
Yeah, Jerry tried to take him out for a burger, but your coach wants the good stuff. So.
Yeah, he heard that commercial, and when we said the best steakhouse in Virginia, he said, "You taking me to the Aberdeen Barn?" Well, like I said, we haven't talked to you, checked in with you since before the season started, and a lot of great things have happened to you in Poca basketball over the winter. And you guys, I know you vowed to go back to the state championship where you fell just a little bit short last year. You guys were determined to get back, and you did so overwhelmingly. I looked at the scores of the games in that tournament, and it was mind-blowing how lopsided the scores were as you guys went on to win the state title, and how awesome that was for you guys. And not only that, but you also became a McDonald's All-American and West Virginia Athlete of the Year for the second straight time. So let's delve into that a little bit. What was it like navigating the season, knowing that nothing less than the state championship trophy was going to be good enough?
Yeah, we definitely had a chip on our shoulder from the season before, because I thought we had a good team to win it my junior year, but we ended up falling short. We just didn't play well in the state championship. So we really came back the next season working harder than ever, and our team was really good once again. And we all just kind of bonded a little bit more. I feel like the junior year, COVID, we didn't go to school in person and stuff like that. I just feel like we weren't as close as we were this past season. So, we moved the ball well. Our defense was amazing. We had Coach Osborne's best defense he's ever had in his 40 years of coaching. Set some records at the state tournament with our defense, holding the teams to less than 33 points a game, I think, or something like that. So it was really our defense and our connection on offense and our willingness to pass the ball to everybody. And we just had a really good team, and I was really thankful for that. And of course, I'm happy we got to win a state championship in the end. That was the main goal, and that's all I ever wanted. And it was the best feeling I've ever had in my life. So I was really thankful for this past season. And of course, all the grace goes to the man above. So
Yeah, that must have been really satisfying, standing there, cutting down the nets, having that state championship trophy in your hands and sharing it with your teammates. Cause I know you're a team guy. It's not all about you.
Oh, for sure. And I just remember how I felt the year before after losing, having to do a press conference afterwards, just tears in my eyes and stuff like that. It's just a feeling I never want to feel again. So winning the state championship was just a feeling like no other, and it was amazing. And it was better to do it with my brothers from Poca that I've grown up with my whole life.
Along the way, you became a McDonald's All-American. Not many guys ever achieve that status. What did that mean to you?
Well, it's obviously a big deal. I mean, I can't remember how many people Coach Osborne said get nominated for that, but it was a really big deal for me. But obviously, the team thing is more my thing. But McDonald's All American is obviously a cool thing to have on my resume.
Coach Osborne told us an interesting story about that, and he said the day he got a nice frame for it. And then I guess in the locker room before the game, he said, "Isaac, I just want to let you know that we got your McDonald's All-American certificate today, and I'd like to present it to you after we announce the starting lineups tonight." And you surprised him a little bit with your answer. What did you tell him?
I just told him I don't need all that. I don't need the recognition. It's a team game. And actually, the team we were playing that night was our only loss of the season, like in December. So I was already looking for revenge, and I just wanted to focus on the team, and so did my teammates. So it wasn't about me. It's about getting that win that night.
That's an awesome attitude. I'm telling you. And another award you got was the West Virginia. I don't know. I'm not sure the official name of it, but the West Virginia Athlete of the Year for the second straight year. I don't know that many people have been able to do that. I think the last guy that did that was Randy Moss, and we know what he went on to. He's a pretty darn good receiver in the NFL and obviously college football. But what was that like, winning that for the second straight year?
Well, I made that my goal along with winning the state championship at the beginning of the year, and I was just working every single day to go back to back. And like you said, I think only 3 people have done it. It's me, Randy Moss, and Jeff Schneider. So it's really good company to be in, and I'm just really thankful to win that award twice. And some people are lucky enough to win it once, and I win it twice. So that's amazing accomplishment for me.
Chris?
First thing I noticed, Isaac, when you jumped on the Zoom with us to do this podcast is you look a little bigger around the shoulders and arms than we saw when we saw you last summer, I think it was. Talk about, I mean, you've been you talked last summer when we talked about you wanted to change your body, you wanted to get bigger and stronger, and it's noticeable. Talk about what you've been doing to work hard and get bigger, stronger, and how that's helped your game.
Well, I have access to the weight room here at Poca, so that's awesome for me. I can get in there pretty much anytime I want, as long as other sports aren't utilizing it. So I've been trying to get in there as much as I can, probably like 4 or 5 times a week, just working different muscles. Coach Curtis has been sending me some stuff. So, he's been really helping me, especially with my legs. I'm just feeling really athletic and moving side to side better, stretching a lot more flexible and stuff like that. I just feel like I'm a lot better in all aspects of my body. So I'm just, trying to better myself every day. And Coach Curtis has helped a lot with that for sure.
I mean, it looks like you could play linebacker if Tony Elliott needed you to.
I don't know about all that.
But how's it helped your game? You were working out, starting last summer and into the fall. How did it help you this season and maybe help step your game up?
Well, I think it's definitely helped when attacking the rim, and because I used to, when I was smaller, like my freshman, sophomore year, I used to get bumped off. Like when I was driving down the lane, I used to get bumped off my line or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, I think that's just helped a lot, using my upper body a little bit more, banging down low. And when they put smaller guards on me, Coach Osborne utilized that and put me in the post a little bit. So I think it's definitely helped in that aspect of my game. And on the defensive end as well, cutting people off of their drives and stuff like that, and boxing out and rebounding. It's just helped a lot, and I feel a lot better.
I think all of you guys, all the new freshmen, well, I guess all the players will be assembling here in Charlottesville June the 18th. How excited are you, and what's the first things you're going to do when you get here?
I can't even express my excitement, to be honest, and I think I can speak for the rest of the guys. We're probably going to be in the gym first thing, and obviously getting our dorm room, get set up, just tour campus a little bit. I've seen it a few times, but to see what kind of food's around. I know that's going to be big for me, but I just can't wait. And I can speak for the rest of the guys. They can't wait as well. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I can guarantee you're going to be overwhelmed with your food choices.
Yeah.
There's so many restaurants here. It's unbelievable. How much of you and the other incoming freshmen communicated over the whole season, but especially here lately, now that it won't be long before you're hanging out together?
Well, we have a little group chat of the 4 of the incoming recruits, and I'm not going to say we talk daily, but it's pretty frequent, probably like every other day. We just check in with each other. Just if we see something about UVA basketball, we're talking to each other about it. We're really close, and I can just tell that we're going to be friends for a while and have a good recruiting class, and hopefully we can, make some noise in college basketball along with the players that's already at UVA right now.
You know who you're rooming with yet?
Isaac Trout.
Yeah, I kind of figured you guys would be roommates.
Yeah, we roomed together at the NBA Top 100 camp, so we've been through it before. So that's the main reason we picked. And he's just been one of my friends for a while. We've been talking ever since I committed to UVA, and they were recruiting him. I started recruiting him, so we've known each other for a couple of years now.
So you're well prepared for all the people wanting to speak to Isaac, and you're going to have to say which one, right?
Yeah. Coach Bennett's trying to figure out some nicknames for us so we don't get us mixed up. Right now it's junior and senior. I'm senior because I'm older than him, and then he calls Trout junior. So we'll see if that sticks.
How does he like that, being junior?
He's not so junior to me. He's about 5 inches taller than me, so maybe even more than 5, probably 6 or 7. But I don't know. We'll see if the name sticks. Coach Bennett likes it, so.
One thing Coach Bennett might have to do is prod you to shoot more. Coach Osborne was telling us he had to almost threaten to bench you because you wouldn't shoot enough. So you're such an unselfish player that you averaged 22 points a game this year, but you only averaged 13 shots a game. But you had an answer for him that you only shoot when you need to shoot, right?
Yeah, I've always been the unselfish player, and I've never been the guy to force it. And I had good teammates, thankfully, that I can, whenever I was getting double teamed or junk defenses on me, I could, dish it to them and count on them to make a bucket or make a pass or whatever. So that was a big reason I didn't shoot a whole lot of shots. And like I said, I'm just not the guy to force it. And I think that's a big reason why I chose UVA, because they're so disciplined and they play like I play at Poca.
Chris?
So how important was it? I mean, there's so many guys coming back from this year's UVA team. How important was it that Kihei Clark's also among those guys coming back now? That might create a problem for you. He's a guard and you play guard, but he's also a veteran and a guy who's won a national championship.
No, there's absolutely no problem with him coming back. I'll tell you that much, because he's just, like you said, a national champion. He's played 4 years. And I'm just going to try and learn as much as I can from him and the other guys. Incoming freshmen, you don't know what to expect. It's going to be a big turnaround from high school basketball for sure. So I'm just going to be under his wing along with the other guys and learn as much as I can. And I just can't wait to play with them. And, I saw it was like a picture. It said Virginia returns the most percentage of minutes in Power 5. So I think that's huge. I mean, bringing that experience back along with the class that we're bringing in, I think we should have a special team next year.
I imagine that makes when you arrive on grounds next week and start playing, pickup games and that kind of thing, and then your workouts and all that, the summer trip that we'll talk about to Italy coming up, that should make things interesting. I mean, I can imagine that the 4 of you guys, the incoming guys, might end up on the same side a few times in some of these pickup games, and you might want to show the veterans a little bit what you guys can do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to back down, and neither are they. So, and we're there to challenge them in practice, and we're all working for minutes in the rotation. So that's a big part of it. And I just can't wait to battle with them in practice. And like I said, learn a lot, and it should be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'd like to be there for those games. I like to see that, because I can imagine that it might get the veterans might get a little, hey man, we want to show you that we're good too.
Yeah, and I'm a competitive guy. I like competitive practices, and hopefully that's how they are.
Well, Kihei learned a lot from Ty and London learned from guys before him. And how much do you hope to pick his brain and try to learn things about Division I basketball that you need to know.
Well, yeah, like I said earlier, I just can't wait to get under his wing. And he's played for 4 years. He's a veteran college basketball player. He's had a lot of success, obviously winning the national championship. So I'm just gonna try and pick as much as I can, especially on the defensive end. I mean, he's such a great defender. I'm gonna try and learn as much as I can from him on that end, because that's one of the things I'm gonna need to do is play good defense. I'm gonna play it at the college level, especially at Virginia. So, Kihei hopefully will help me out a lot along with the other incoming freshmen, because he's been a really good player, and I just can't wait to learn from him.
You talked a little bit about being eager to learn about the restaurants in town and the dorms and all that stuff. On the basketball court, what are you curious about? What are you eager to learn going up against these guys with experience and even against, getting to know your own freshman teammates?
Well, I'm just eager because I've heard from a lot of people that have played college basketball, the pace of the game is different, and just how strong they are is a lot different. I'm anxious to see how I match up against the people that have been, playing college basketball for 3 or 4 years, just to see how I match up with them and see how I compete in practice. I'm anxious to see how that works out.
You've been compared to people like Kyle Guy and Joe Harris and some NBA guys, particularly with your perimeter shooting. How much do you work on that every day, and where does that stand right now? How much better of a 3-point shooter are you now than you were, say, the season before, your junior season?
I think I upped my 3-point percentage in season by about 1 or 2. Like I was at like 42 or something like that from 3 this season. So, I just try to work on my shot every day and just the fundamentals of shooting, like, right in front of the basket, just working on my form and stuff like that. And Coach Osborne has the college 3-point line down in the gym, so I've been shooting from there. And just different stuff I've been working on. I just try to get at least some shots up every single day just to make sure my form and my shot just stay good. And, I'm trying to get better every day, and hopefully I can make an impact with my shooting in college.
That's really cool. I know that everybody's eager to see you lighten it up from 3-point land. That's for sure. That's something that Virginia could have used this past season. They struggled a little bit from outside, but it should be fun watching all you newcomers blend in with Ben Vanderplas and the other guys coming back. We were talking to Jim Larinaga from Miami a couple of weeks ago, and he said, well, with Virginia, all these guys coming back and the freshman class they've got coming in and Vanderplas coming in from Ohio U, he said they have a chance to win the ACC and make a lot of noise. How exciting is it not just to join an ACC program, but one that has a good chance at winning the ACC?
Well, I'm all about winning, and that's one of the reasons I chose UVA. Obviously, last season they probably didn't live up to the expectations, but they still had a great year. I mean, it's not like they were terrible. They still had a winning record and out middle of the pack ACC, and ACC was pretty good last year. So just to build on that, and like I said, they're returning the most minutes and bringing along our freshman class. I just can't wait to join that group, and I think we're going to be really tight on and off the court and just have a special team. And like you said, I think we have a chance to win the ACC and make a run in the tournament.
I know you're a freshman. You haven't even stepped on the court yet, but how do you envision things going through the summer and into the fall? I know you're coming in with no expectations like most freshmen probably don't in terms of whether you'll start or how many minutes you'll get or any of that kind of stuff. But how do you envision your role at this point without any further knowledge at this point?
Well, I think my shooting is going to get me on the court. Whether I'll start or not, I have no idea. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to work as hard as I can in practice to earn minutes and do what I have to do to help the team. And if that's come off the bench or do whatever, I'm willing to do whatever as long as we're winning. That's all I care about.
Chris?
Isaac, Jerry mentioned the scores of the games as you guys are running through the season and through the state tournament this year. And I noticed, boy, I mean, you guys played great defense. You also played the Packline defense. Now, I know, like you said, that the pace of the game at the college level, the speed of the game is so much different than the high school level, but it's got to be a little bit of an advantage for you that that you do have experience playing, even at the high school level, playing the Packline defense. That's got to give you a little bit of a leg up as you head into college now.
Yeah, most definitely. That's, again, one of the reasons I chose UVA is because Coach Osborne runs the Packline. We run size. We do a lot of stuff that UVA does. So that should make it a little bit easier of a transition. Obviously, like you said, college is a lot different from high school, but it should make the transition just a little bit easier for me. And hopefully it gives me a chance to step on the court as a freshman and make an impact.
Now, how I guess we've talked about or we've mentioned the trip to Italy coming up. That's an important bonding experience for you, the 4 freshmen, and then of course the guys who are coming back, and then Ben Vanderplas coming in. I don't think we can measure how important that is going to be for this team to kind of gel early before October practice.
Most definitely. I can't wait for that trip. I've never been out of the country, so I can't wait to go to Italy and play against some professionals over there. And like you said, it should be a really good time to bond with our teammates, because who knows what we're going to do in Italy. I mean, eat some pizza, eat some stuff like that, I'd say. But it should be a really fun experience. And, I can't wait to be down there with my teammates and get to know them just a little bit better before, like you said, the season starts.
And not only do you go to Italy, but there's an early season tournament in Las Vegas. I suppose you haven't been there yet either.
I have not been to Vegas, and I can't wait for that one either. I forget, like Baylor, UCLA, and Illinois, I think's in there. That should be a welcome to college basketball experience for me, playing those powerhouses. So, I can't wait for that. And like you said, I've never been to Vegas, so it should be a fun experience.
And beside the trips, those kind of trips, you've got the upcoming experience of playing in all the different ACC arenas you've watched on TV growing up. What do you imagine? What do you think about that? As a high school kid, watching these games on TV, I know what it was like when I was a high school kid watching teams playing in Chapel Hill or in Durham or wherever. What's that? What have you fantasized about that? Just playing in some of the historic arenas you're going to be in.
Well, as a high school kid, I think playing at Winfield's the biggest environment I've ever been a part of. So I can only imagine what it's like playing in Durham and Carolina and stuff like that. It's just a special thing that I have here. It's a special opportunity I have to play in arenas like that, especially in Durham and the Carrier Dome, Carolina and stuff like that. It's just a lot of history, and hopefully we can have some good games down there. Obviously, Reese hit the shot at Duke. I can only imagine that feeling. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to suit up in those arenas for sure.
Yeah, it's always, I can tell you, well, you already know, but it's probably the loudest place I've ever been is Cameron. I've been going there for, gosh, seems like 40 years, probably longer than 40 years. But I don't know that you'll ever run into an environment as crazy as that place. That's for sure. So be prepared.
I don't know. JPJ can get to be a little crazy too, though. And Isaac, I assume you've been to some games at Virginia, but the home crowd, that's going to be interesting too. The getting out there in front of that home crowd and not being in the seats, but being there on the floor.
Yeah, JPJ is special for sure. I think I've been to like 4 or 5 games. The loudest one I've ever been to probably was right before COVID happened. They played Louisville at home, and Kie hit a big shot. Like, I forget how much time was left, but it was pretty much the dagger, and that place just erupted. And that was before I committed. And I think in that moment, I was like, man, I would love to play in this place.
So that had, I'm sure that had a little bit of influence on you. It's quite an arena. There's no question about it.
Oh, it's one of the best. I noticed that for sure ever since I stepped foot in there.
I know you said you've been in contact with a lot of your incoming freshman teammates. Have you gotten to know some of the guys that are already on the team? I don't know how difficult that may be. Probably easier these days than it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on a couple of official visits, got to know them then, and we just recently actually got added into the group chat with all the players, so that was pretty cool. And, they just seem like all really nice guys, and those are the type of guys that Coach Bennett recruits, just people like me and the incoming freshmen that we have. So I think I'm going to get along with them just fine, and it should be a lot of fun playing with them on the court and bonding with them off the court as well.
How exciting was that, Bill? Like you said, you guys, the freshmen, just got invited into the team group chat. That must have been pretty cool.
Oh, it was very cool. And the first thing that was said whenever I got added into the group chat. We were arguing over who's the best rapper out right now, and there was like a top 30 list, and everybody was arguing about it. It was funny, and I can just tell I'm gonna like bonding with them.
And who was your choice?
It had to be Drake.
Drake. Okay, I think that's one of Chris's favorites, right, Chris?
He's on my list. Yeah, I'll go with Drake. That's fine. I get it. That's a good choice. Yeah, I can't go with that.
How cool? Just talking to those guys, how cool was it? I know you said you were accepted right off the bat, but just getting to know these guys that you've watched the last couple of years. Anybody in particular warm up to you, or?
It's just been cool getting to know all of them, and you see them on TV, and then it's weird because like watching these college basketball players on TV, you just realize they're normal humans like you are, and when you're talking to them, they're just normal guys. So it's been really cool getting to know them, and I feel like we're bonding more than ever right now, just because I got added to the group chat, stuff like that. I just feel like we're gonna be friends for a while, even past our time here at UVA. So it should be really cool to get to be with them and be at a special place like Virginia.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things I've noticed about Virginia. I don't know if it's like that at other schools. I'm sure it is at some, but a lot of these basketball teams and football teams, and I imagine it's true through the other sports as well, but in particular basketball, a lot of these guys that played together throughout the years, like Corey Alexander and Junior Burrow and some of the guys from those teams, they still have group chats to this day. And I know that's true for several of the classes throughout UVA basketball history, going back into the 80s and maybe even beyond that. They still get together. They have reunions. They have group chats. They have like all sorts of activities where they keep in touch with one another. So I think not only will you be included with just your teammates, but probably some of the guys that have come before you too. They'll want to get to know you and make you part of the family.
Yeah, I remember actually the day I committed, like Ty Jerome reached out to me, Justin Anderson reached out to me, Kyle Goff, people like that that had played for UVA in the past, and that just made me realize how UVA is just one big family. And even after you graduate, you're still part of the family. Like Ty Jerome, I think he's on grounds right now working out. That's just cool how they come back and stuff like that. And hopefully I'll get to compete against guys like that whenever they come back. So it's just really cool. And UVA is just a really special place. And I'm beginning to see that as I go through this process.
Yeah, I have a feeling a few of them may drop by practices and play some pickup with you guys once you get to town.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That should be an experience.
That's got to be fun. What is Coach Bennett? I don't know if you've talked to him much since your season was over, or maybe even during your season. When he communicates with you, what kind of things do you guys talk about?
We've talked a little bit since the season's been over. I think he's been really busy with recruiting these past couple months or whatever. But we talked a little bit, and he just tells us how excited he is for our class to be coming in. And he thinks we all have a chance to make an impact on the court. I don't know if we're going to start or do what, but he thinks we all have a chance to make an impact, whether that's in practice or in the game. And I just can't wait to get down there. Coach Bennett's one of the best, if not the best, coach in college basketball. I believe he's the best. So that's one of the reasons I chose UVA was to play for him. And he's just a really good Christian guy. And our talks are always really good. And when he checks in with me and stuff, along with Coach Getter and the other guys. So, Coach Bennett's awesome. And I just enjoy talking to him.
I know when the 2016 class came, and with Ty and Kyle and DeAndre and those other guys, they talked about winning a national championship before they left. Anything like that ever come up with you and your other teammates that are coming in this class?
Yeah, that's definitely one of our goals, is to win a national championship before we leave. And we've been compared to that 2016 class. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's a lot to live up to for sure. Hopefully we can get there. I don't know, but definitely national championships are biggest goal that we have for sure.
Chris, you got anything?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the basketball part of your transition coming up here. I'm a UVA alum as well, and I did not play sports, but I do know that it's a big difference between high school and a first semester of a first year at UVA. So you got that transition coming up too. What are you thinking about as far as that goes? And I know you were a top student in high school, but you're not just making one transition from the basketball court to a higher level. You're making a transition in the classroom as well.
Yeah, UVA is obviously one of the top academic schools as well, and it's a little bit different than Poca High School. So I'm gonna have a big transition coming up, and we're starting our summer class the day we get there, I think, or that Monday. So that should be a lot of fun. And all the freshmen, we're all taking the same summer class. That should make the transition a little bit easier, so we can help each other out in that summer class, and then that switch will turn like that first semester, and hopefully I can keep up in the classroom.
Do you have an idea what you'll eventually want to major in? I know you don't have to declare yet.
Yeah, something business related, I think. I'm going to try and apply to the business school after my second year. So
very good.
Cool. Well, listen, Isaac, we really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to spend with UVA fans out there that are going to listen to this and watch it. I think Chris is going to have it on. Did you say it's going to be on YouTube as well, Chris?
As well, yeah. So the podcast the audio will be out. We'll also have it out there for folks who want to take it in that way too.
Good. I know my mom's going to want to listen to it. So
your mom Holly is great, man. I've communicated with her a few times. She's awesome.
Yeah, she is. Sure.
I'm sure she's right behind you all the way. But again, thank you so much for taking part of your day to spend with us and just giving us some background, letting us catch up with your career and how cool it is that you'll be here in town in just a little over a week. So best wishes. Hope to bump into you. I don't know what the NCAA rules are. Maybe we can take you out for a burger or
like
the Aberdeen barn.
I think they're a little looser now, Jerry. So we might be able to get to do that. Yeah.
If he has an NIL, he might be taking us to the Aberdeen barn.
True.
But anyway, thank you, Isaac. Looking forward to seeing you in person and best wishes.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Like I said, I always enjoy talking to you guys. So thanks again.
Okay, you take care.
Yep, you too. Thanks.